Bob, can we join you in the box? Not you too, Bob.
Welcome to About Time, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Stephen, and I've been a Doctor Who fan since 2005.
And I'm Ben, and I've never seen the show before.
For years now, I've been trying to convince Ben to give it a go.
And my answer has always been no.
But now, finally, he's agreed not only to watch it with me, but to do a podcast about it as well. And quite frankly, it's about time. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. So we've watched Fear Her today.
Yeah.
I think that noise sums it up.
To be fair, it's not the worst episode.
Is it not?
No.
Is it not going to be bottom of your list?
No.
Okay, interesting.
No.
Interesting. I think it's going to be bottom of mine, but anyway, we'll get to that later. But before we get into that, any news? How are we?
Oh, I'm okay. I brought some bulbs today.
You did. You spent an hour in home base.
I did, yes. I brought some soil, brought some bulbs.
Yes. You're going to be getting green fingered. That sounds so
What, by Shrek? Anywho. Yeah, I'm going to do some gardening.
Yes. It's been back to work for both of us, although I
had forced holiday.
You've been forced to take holiday off, so you're like 4-day weekend.
Yeah, I went back for 3 days and was off, and now I'm off.
It reminds me of that, that Simpsons quote where Marge says to Homer, work called and said, if you don't come in tomorrow, but don't bother coming in Monday. And he goes, woohoo, 4-day weekend.
Any news for you?
No, not really. Just rolling rehearsals. I've got into rehearsals properly now for my play. Not my play, but play I'm directing.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of all things 1950s at the moment.
Yeah. Anywho,
yeah. I can't imagine this episode being a very long one. I don't know if I've got much to say about it. But yes, so we've watched Fear Her.
Yeah.
Now,
what a crap title.
It is an awful title, isn't it?
Doesn't sum up the story at all.
No, it doesn't.
I have things to say, but I'll start with something positive.
I was going to say,
let's
do this thing. What's your positive?
Loved the art was in the main part of the story.
Yeah.
I love that imaginative play was spoke about.
Yeah, like child's creativity.
Because I spoke about how this season feels a lot like it feels like they are just all imaginative play. But no, I really liked the mum.
Oh, she is good. Nina Sosanya, I think her name is. She's in a lot.
Yeah, I really like the mum. I think was amazing.
Yeah, she is good.
I thought it was going to be a bit of a fluffy episode, but no, she proved me wrong, and I thought she was really good. I thought the girl was really good.
Really?
For a 12-year-old acting, I thought
suppose,
she did an all right job.
Yeah, she did. And also, to be fair, the direction given to her was when she's speaking the Isola's voice, she has to whisper. And there's not much you can do with a whisper. Once you're whispering, that's it,
Yeah.
Like,
I personally, if it was me, I think that they should have put a distortion on her voice.
Yeah, or dubbed it with something.
Yeah, or like some kind of like whistle note, like windy tones.
Yeah.
Would have been quite nice.
Yeah. Or like a double voice, like have someone over the top. Yeah.
Yes, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like all the things that would have been easy, and they don't know. What a wishy-washy alien.
The Isolas? You mean you would have liked to see more detail about it?
A bit more. I would like to know a bit more about it.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Like, I'd like to know, like, okay, so they take thousands of years to mature. Into what?
Well, we saw the Isola's mother.
Did we?
The drawing of it.
Oh, a crap little drawing, which was like...
Like a flower.
Yeah, I thought it was like some kind of, like, demonic thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, the more I'm talking about this episode, the more I'm like, ooh, okay, I didn't like that. Ooh, I didn't like that.
Exactly.
But I like the mum. I thought she was really good.
Yeah.
I love the tarmac guy.
Oh, he's very funny. Kel. Yeah.
Bring him as a companion.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He fancied Rose. He fancied Rose.
Oh, yeah.
As many people have done.
I think we can't. I know this is the thing everyone brings up about this episode, but we can't discuss this episode without quoting his best line in the whole thing. You just taken a council axe from a council van, and now you're digging up the council road. I'm reporting you to the council.
It was good.
Yeah, but the close runner-up for funniest line is Hugh Edwards, the BBC reporter, when he's...
Are you there, Bob?
all the people have gone, and he goes, not you too, Bob.
Do you think Hugh Edwards has like quite a sexy voice?
Yeah.
That's why they use him on. Like...
Is he going to be Hottie of the Week? Just from his voice.
No.
Was there a Hottie of the Week?
Kel was quite attractive.
Okay. If I'm going to say anyone, it's really obscure, but there's an extra in a yellow polo shirt that Rose pushes out of the way. Did you see him?
No.
When she runs to watch the torch going past, she pushes him out of the way, and he's got such like 2000s hair. Anyway.
Anywho, but yeah, well done, Cal. You're Hottie of the Week.
Okay. So this episode,
Yeah,
it was a last minute kind of replacement. I think for an episode that was supposed to be written by Stephen Fry.
Oh.
He was writing for the show, and I don't know what happened. Maybe he was running behind on the deadline or something.
Yeah.
And they had to... So I believe Russell would sort of over-commission the series a little bit, and he would commission some extra episodes to be written.
Yeah.
Just in case they needed a backup.
Yeah.
Right, and this was one of them. And it was written as to be a low-budget thing that they could just film in a council estate. You know.
And what did I say?
That is literally
where
what you said.
haven't we? I was like when we were watching it, I was like, where haven't they filmed? Where's the cheapest place we could film?
Yeah.
On a council estate.
Yeah.
The most expensive thing that they did is probably like use a bit of tarmac.
And the scribble creature, CGI, maybe.
And the scribble creature, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But no.
So it was written by someone called Matthew Graham.
Yes.
Who's known for being the showrunner of Life on Mars.
Oh.
Do you remember that show?
I never watched it.
You never watched it? I watched it with my parents. It's much better than this, let's say that.
Oh.
But the thing is, though, also, I was reading that he heard that a lot of fans' reactions to this episode were negative.
Yeah.
And his response is basically, it's not for you. It was written to be aimed at children. It's a very sort of child-friendly episode. And it was supposed to be a calm before the storm, in like a nice bit of fun before the dramatic finale.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
And I can respect that. It's a children's show, so you want some episodes should be targeted, I guess, toward them. But what I will say is, you may say this is a family show, and your families may have watched it, but your fans and your following are predominantly adults who are interested in the science fiction genre.
Yeah, I think,
or loved the series beforehand.
Yeah, I think it's a very difficult line to straddle when you're making Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Because people argue about that all the time. Even among fans, people argue about, is it a children's show? Would you call it a children's show? Would you call it a family show? What would you call it? It's sort of unique.
Yeah. Oh, last episode, you said a spin-off was about to be
Well, that's
announced.
what we all thought, because there have been talks about spin-offs, and there have been signs pointing towards there being possibly a unit-based spin-off. You remember Unit?
Yeah.
The soldiers and everything. And then they said there was going to be a big announcement about Doctor Who on Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Long story short, I don't know what this Blue Peter thing was all about. I haven't seen anything about it, so I'll keep my eyes peeled. But there are definitely spin-offs.
Don't want to peel your eyes, that hurt.
Keep them peeled, Lewis. There are definitely spin-offs coming. We just haven't been told what they are yet.
Yeah. If they need any help coming up with ideas,
I'm sure there's many people who would help.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not much to say.
No, there's not. There's not. I told you before we started, I said this episode does have one thing in common with one of your favourite episodes from last series.
Not my favourite episode.
One of your...
In a top 5?
Yes, it is in top 5, I think.
Okay.
One of your favourites was Dalek, right?
Yes.
Did you spot what it has in common?
No.
They're both set in 2012.
Oh, and they're both alone.
Oh, I wasn't thinking
They're
that.
both isolated alien creatures.
Yes. Oh my god, is that where the name Isolus comes from? Isolated. Oh, that's so cringy. Just realised that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But no, what I was going to say was they're both set in 2012, but so when the episode was made, that was a date in the sort of near future. Now it's very much in the past.
Yeah.
Which is so weird.
Yeah. I was expecting to see these pictures move a lot more than they did.
Oh yeah, they really cut costs, I think.
Like, I'm a bit like, did Stephen Fry ever do this episode?
Oh no, it was nothing to do with Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry's episode was nothing to do with this.
No, does he do that episode?
Oh no, he never did it. I have heard him talk about it in an interview, and I think it was going to be something to do with King Arthur.
Oh.
There's an Arthurian tale about the Green Knight or something. Do you know that?
No.
It sounds quite interesting. I have to look it up again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember him saying, oh, there's a knight in King Arthur's court, yeah, called Gawain, and he goes, I don't know what the modern equivalent would be. Gavin, I suppose.
We can't talk about him too much. He's a turf.
Oh,
he defends.
So yeah,
heartbreaking for Stephen.
It is heartbreaking because I love Stephen Fry.
I'm not a big fan.
Okay. Hello, just popping in via the magic of time travel to clarify something. So Stephen Fry hasn't, to the best of my knowledge, made any directly transphobic comments himself, so I wouldn't necessarily call him a TERF. But he has publicly defended J.K. Rowling and basically said that people on both sides of the argument need to back down. He's like saying, he's friends with J.K. Rowling, he's friends with trans people, and he doesn't want to get involved in the argument, basically, trying to keep the peace, essentially. But, in our opinion, there is no peace to be kept between a vulnerable minority group and a hugely influential public figure who wants to take away their rights. So it's really disappointing that Stephen Fry doesn't seem to see it that way. That's all I wanted to say. So back to the episode. Anyway, someone said to me in school, are you modelling yourself on Stephen Fry? I said, what do you mean? And they were like, well, called Stephen with a PH, fat and gay and posh. I was like, thanks very much.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And my English teacher walked in just as they were saying that. And for some reason, I felt the need to apologise. I said, oh, sorry. She said, no, don't stop on my account.
God, what?
I know.
My God.
People were mean to me at school.
They were.
I'm not a big fan of the Doctor in this episode. He seems off. I think it's the writing of him.
I quite liked him.
I feel like he was, when that man, he was looking in that man's garden and he said, what's your game? And he's like, oh, snakes and ladders.
Yeah,
like,
I quite like that.
But then he's like, oh, I'm being facetious and there's no call for it. Like, I don't know. And he was saying all these weird things like, I don't know. He was just saying loads of weird things that were just like pointless.
Oh, he sounded like Fred Flintstone at the end. He's like, oh no, who is it? Who goes, "Yoy-ho-ho-ho-hoy"?
I don't know.
It's a cartoon.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's a cartoon.
It's not Fred Flintstone. That's Yabba Dabba Doo.
Yabba Dabba Doo. It's the Flintstones.
I really want to watch the Flintstones.
Anyhow, this is not a Flintstone podcast.
No, but it's a general chit-chat podcast sometimes.
When there's a crap episode on.
Yes.
It's not as... Okay, I would watch this over a lot of episodes.
Okay, actually, no. Tell me that later. I was going to ask which ones, but yeah, tell me that when we come to rank it.
Yeah.
And also, the Doctor says he's not a cat person.
Boo.
Which makes me not like him. And I don't think it's true. Like...
He did say, because he's tangled with the cat nuns. I can understand that.
Yeah, it's just silly though, isn't it?
Oh, and he also... It's on your notes, I can see it.
What?
He just... dropped a lovely little seed for Rose
about being a
children.
Dad. Yeah, I was a dad
or a child.
Well, he didn't mention numbers. He just said he was a dad once.
Do we meet his wife?
Ask me that again.
Do we meet his wife?
Whose wife?
The Doctor's wife. Say
that one more time.
The Doctor's wife.
Yeah, I'm just doing that because I know listeners will enjoy that.
Oh, okay. I have a feeling I know who she is because I've been spoiled on YouTube. You're the one who messed up my algorithm. It's fixed now because I've watched a lot of knitting tutorials and crochet tutorials and
balance has been restored,
daily vlogs
in the
of other
universe.
Things.
Anyway,
so he's 900 years old.
Yes.
He has a daughter called Bib Bob Bluebeard.
No, we don't know if he's had a daughter or a son. We don't know anything.
Let's call her Belinda.
We don't know.
Let's call her Belinda.
Okay.
Let's call her Bill. Because Bill can be Bill and Bill. Bill.
Okay.
You have a daughter. She's died. Or son. Died in the massive time evolution
war.
You have a grandchild that is just floating about in human space. She's part Time Lordian.
Yeah. The thing is, there's a debate about whether Susan actually is Time Lord, because Time Lord, there's a debate about if Time Lord is the species or not, or if, because, I can't tell you that. I was about to say the name of the planet.
Oh.
So I'm not going to say the name of the planet, but you could say that the inhabitants of this planet are the species, and then some of them are Time Lords, but not all of them. So only the Time Lords can regenerate, potentially. But but we don't know that. That's a bit up in the air, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting to assume that Susan could regenerate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I think that the evidence is pointing towards her being involved in the 60th anniversary specials, but we'll see. If anyone's listening to this episode after the 60th anniversary has come out, I either sound like I got it right or I sound like an idiot because she wasn't in it, but yeah, whatever. So what do you think about that then? About the doctor saying to Rose he was a dad once?
Oh, and he was just basically just like, I think he was like, okay, we need to have a difficult conversation about my past. But I don't really want to have this conversation, but I'm just going to drop this little egg here for you.
Yeah.
And then you can worry about this, but I won't have to worry too much because you're going to die in the next episode.
Oh, God, and how cheesy was that ending where they're looking up at the fireworks and he's like, there's a storm approaching. Like, what does that mean? How does he know?
I don't know.
It's a very cheesy episode.
Yeah, it feels like it should sit earlier in the season.
Maybe, yeah.
In later, as late as it sits. It feels like an episode that wasn't refined enough.
Yeah, it does have that last minute feel to it.
Yeah.
And I think even Russell Davies admits that this was a weak episode.
Yeah.
I think he said, like, we didn't get it right with Fear Her.
No. And like also what I find is like cheap gags like were used just to try and like break like with him like trying to investigate the disappearance. He's like, what's your game? And he's like does all that thing you just mentioned.
But I thought you said you liked that.
I liked it, but was it needed? Like a cheap gag. Like the beginning of the episode where they was just like, oh, we parked perfectly in between two bollards.
And he can't get out, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like there's more doors and just...
You mean you think the door should be able to open on any side?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does. That's not how Police Box works, and that's not how the TARDIS works. I get what you're saying there. It's just a little gag, isn't it? And the whole thing with the cake and the edible ball bearings.
Mm.
And Billy Piper's like, cake?
Oh.
That massive mouth.
It's like I can fit this whole thing in my mouth.
How many ball bearings can you fit in your mouth?
We don't want to know.
No.
Have you seen that lady on Instagram who's got the biggest mouth and she's on the Guinness Book of Records?
No, is it Billy Piper?
No. I kid you not. She's very entertaining on Instagram. Like, literally, like...
Yeah. Is it Dawn French?
No. She's an American woman who has this ginormous mouth.
Right.
And, like, showing off how big of a bite of a sandwich she can take, or
sounds
she
like
can
me
fit
when I'm
a
eating
whole
an
fucking
apple.
burger in. Yeah. If you ever see Stephen eat an apple, it's the loudest thing you'll ever hear. It's like a horse, and the apple is gone within 3 bites.
No, don't be ridiculous.
Surprised that he even leaves a core.
I like,
he's got such a big bite.
I like a big bite of apple. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the old lady.
Ugh, Maeve.
She was dramatic. There's a lot of dramatic people in this episode. And she was like, do you remember when she had her finger on her lips? And then she was like, can I say something? And she suddenly takes the floor and she's like, look around you. This used to be a quiet street. Like she's, yeah.
Yeah.
The narrator.
It's a new build love, though.
Talking about dramatic, Hugh Edwards as well, when he was like, it's more than a torch. It's a beacon of hope and courage and fortitude. And it's more than that. It's a beacon of love. Like...
I wonder if he reads audiobooks.
Ah.
# Stephen's most wanted job in the world.
It is. I've done many of them without getting paid a cent. A penny, sorry, I'm not American.
Excuse me, people paid you on Patreon and people have paid you on gave you tips on your website. So don't just say that people haven't paid you. They just haven't paid regularly.
Yeah, but that technically that gets eaten up into web hosting and stuff like that, so technically I haven't earned anything really. Anyway, # Willow audiobooks if you fancy checking them out. So yeah, do you remember the London 2012 Olympic ceremony?
When was this made?
This was made in 2006.
So they knew that they were doing 2012.
Yeah. It would have been announced that London was having it. Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember the opening ceremony? Did you watch it?
No.
Did you not?
No.
I did. Mainly because my someone I used to know was in it. Was one of the performers, like dancing or something. But yeah, it was like they put in loads of British cultural references and stuff. James Bond.
Yeah, James Bond.
Because the Queen apparently jumped out of a plane to enter. That was they made it look like she did.
Oh.
Did you ever see that?
No.
What
was I doing in 2012?
Uni.
I was at uni. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a TV, so no.
Oh, okay.
Probably could have watched it on BBC or something like that, but
on the iPlayer.
Yeah, but
well, that's how. Yeah, that they predicted that on this episode. Like, this is before iPlayer was a thing, and they were like, she was like, "Oh, have you seen the TV?" And she opened up the laptop and like showed a TV on the laptop, which is kind of cool. But yes, because the Doctor carried the torch in this episode, and was the person to light the flame. There was a massive petition to make David Tennant be the person to light the flame in the 2012 opening ceremony.
Oh,
and
who did light the flame?
I don't know who lit the flame, but it wasn't David Tennant. And David Tennant didn't have any involvement, but Matt Smith did. I think because he was the current Doctor at the time. I think he was one of the people to carry the flame. Oh. But yeah, would have been cool though.
Would have been cool if they did like. They had Chris Ferguson passing it to David Tennant passing it to Matt Smith.
Yeah.
And then Matt Smith passing it to Capaldi.
Well, they didn't know that by that point.
And then Capaldi passing it to...
What's her name?
Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah. Yes, well done. I'm impressed.
And then Jodie Whittaker passing it to Ncuti Gatwa.
Oh, no.
David Tennant.
Yeah, David Tennant in between.
I don't believe
We don't know how that's going to pan out yet. But yeah.
But the thing is, they always make a big deal, don't they, with the Doctor Regeneration?
Yes.
Like I remember like being at school and being at university, and people were like, "Oh, who's going to be the new Doctor?" I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because you didn't care, and you still don't care now. Or maybe you would care a little bit now.
I really want to shoot you because he's attractive.
Have you seen his bum in those pictures?
No, I'm not peeking Tom like you are.
I thought you were going to say I'm not a bum person.
I am a bum person.
Okay. Anyway.
Is that it?
I don't know. That's very short, isn't it? I've been through all my notes.
Oh, dear.
I don't know what to say. Just that it's...
But it looked like a jellyfish.
Yeah, a bit like a flower crossed with a jellyfish.
So it just lives in space?
I don't know. I think so. Weren't they on their way somewhere?
And the mother spews out 4 billion.
Yeah.
So if she spews out 4 billion, does she die?
I don't know.
But then let's say she has 4 billion cousins and brothers and sisters. They poo out 4 billion. Then they poo out 4 billion. Like 4 billion. But half of them are female. Let's say 50-50. So 2 billion pump out 4 billion. So that's 2 times 4.
Oh my God.
2 times 4 is 8.
My brain's not even engaging with this.
2 times 4 is 8, so that's 8 billion.
No, because you said 2 billion, so it's 2 billion times 4 billion, isn't it? So it's going to be like ridiculous numbers that I'm not even going to get into.
Okay.
So yeah, what you're saying is the Isolas are going to take over the universe.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, this is a little message from the last episode, guys. Stephen came up to me and said, "You're right, Ben." I was like,
"Oh yeah."
I was like, "Squeeze me."
What did I say you were right about?
Satan.
Yeah, that wasn't last episode. That was one before.
Oh,
but yeah, I was thinking about what you were saying, and I kind of agree with you that I don't really see how the idea of Satan kind of spread to humans if he was imprisoned long before humans ever evolved.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are ways you can explain around it, but
he said he was in prison before the universe was even built.
Yes. So I don't know the answer, but I'm sure someone could explain it to me. Yeah. Whatever.
I've also got another thing to say. You know the squiggly diggly thing in this episode, the squiggly diggly thing?
The scribble creature.
We call it the squibbly diddly thing.
Well, I just have to know what you mean, but yeah.
The squiggly diddly thing.
Yeah.
That's almost what I feel like the Wire would look like.
Oh, okay.
But a bit more like neon glowy tubes.
Funnily enough, I think there's a lot of similarities between The Idiot's Lantern and this episode. Eyes of the
like
World.
The Idiot Lantern though.
Yeah, but Eyes of the World on this big like event.
Yeah.
Watching on the TV, and people's faces were being snatched away, but this time the whole people being snatched away by this creature that's come down and taken on someone's form. And yeah.
Oh my god! I just thought about how cheap this episode is.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford to do like them vanishing in front of you, so they had to go off and then go back. Did you notice that?
What?
So the cat went in the box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The boy who was in the playing goalie.
Yeah.
They went off to one character, went back.
Oh no, I don't think that was for cheapness, because I think that was for the mystery of it, because you don't see it happen.
Oh.
Because they did do the effect when the two boys appeared back at the end.
Oh yeah.
I think it was more just for they were setting it up and like, oh, someone's disappearing when you're not quite looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an episode of television that we've witnessed.
It's an episode of television. It's clearly not a very good episode of television, but not the worst episode I've ever watched.
So shall we rank it then?
Yeah.
Can I go first this time?
Yes.
Because it's very easy for me.
Yes.
It's going in at number 25 out of 25. It's going in the bottom, underneath the long game for me. I'm sorry to anyone who likes this episode, but I'm sure you must be out there somewhere, people who like this episode.
So for me, it's going 23rd.
Right. So you enjoyed it more than The Age of Steel and Rise of the Cybermen?
Basically, yeah.
Wow, really? You enjoyed this more than Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel?
Yeah. If I did, I don't know. No, I think it's going to go 25th for me as well.
Yeah.
I think
that's sensible.
I think I was giving it a bone because I thought like, well, they did the Cyberman dirty in those two episodes, but this episode is a bit of a slog to get through. I said to Stephen when we were watching it, it's a bit of a slog.
Yeah,
the pacing's off, but
you say that about every episode.
Not every episode. Empty Child, I've loved. Dalek, I've loved. Part of the Ways, I've loved. There's many episodes I love and not I've said that about, but it's mainly the two-parters I fucking hate.
Yeah.
Apart from one, which was written by Stephen Moffat. I'm predicting I might be a Stephen Moffat fan.
Yeah, when we get to the Moffat era, you might be like...
How many female assassins are in it?
At least one that comes to the top of my head.
So we watched another Stephen Moffat episode of Murder Most Horrid.
Yeah.
And...
guess what?
It had a female executioner this time.
Yeah, which is very borderline adjacent.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm going to put it 25th because I think like...
Yeah.
Do you know what I was probably thinking to myself? Like, Age of Steel and Rise of the Cyberman, would the arc stand better if you watch back to back?
Oh, those two episodes?
Yeah.
If you just watch them as one big movie?
Yeah. But yeah, that's where I'm going to put it, Stephen.
Okay, so...
Hottie of the week is... Kel,
all right, I'll do that. So Hottie of the week, what I'm going to do is, because we've got just the finale left now of Series 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to put together pictures of all the nominees.
Yes.
And include the one from next episode, which is episode 12.
Yes.
So then when we come to watch episode 13, we can do our Hottie of the series. We can do the Hottie off.
I have a feeling I know who's going to be...
Who?
I'll tell you next episode.
Who? I need to know. Who's been the hottest person? King France?
Probably.
Is it?
I think he's very attractive.
He is, yeah.
Very, very attractive.
He is.
But anywho.
Do you want to ask me anything?
What?
About the next episode?
Oh, what's the title of the next episode?
It is called Army of Ghosts.
Oh my god, if they bring back those fire creatures... I'll go through the roof.
You like that episode?
It was an okay episode. Doesn't mean I want to see them again.
The Gelf you're thinking of.
Yes, Stephen. Flash your nerdy knowledge again.
It's not nerdy knowledge. I'm just telling you what they're called.
Nerdy knowledge.
Yeah. So look out for the return of the Gelf next week.
Absolutely not. I won't watch it if it is.
You have to.
Helped Stephen. Oh, I didn't. I forgot to say that I helped your dad.
Oh, you did. That was so sweet.
Yeah, your dad asked for my hand, and oh no, a hand and help, a helping hand.
And I was happy to give you my blessing.
Yeah, he asked me if I would help him recover
the shed roof.
And the shed roof held my weight.
Yeah.
Peeps held my weight. And I got told about all the stories about that shed.
What stories?
They used to go in there. It was a games room.
Yes.
Many moons ago for you and your dad.
And my parents banished me with my keyboard to play it out there so they wouldn't have to listen to it.
Oh, when you were learning.
Yeah.
But
and I used to be out there on my own and listen to Mozart CDs that my grandpa gave me.
And your dad said Scalextrics.
Was that out there? There was a train set. I remember the train set.
And your dad said Scalextrics is out there as well.
Okay, no, I don't remember that being out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I'm not a big fan of sheds because I don't like spiders.
So yeah, this is a bit of a meh episode. I guess it's because there's not much to say about such a meh episode.
I feel like people will be pleased that we've not talked for very long about it.
Yeah.
Mercifully short.
Yeah. Have a lovely week, guys.
Yeah, have a lovely, lovely week. And join us for exciting discussions about Army of Ghosts next week.
I've heard that this is a good 2-parter, so
it should be, and you'll get to find out if your theories are correct.
Yeah.
Either way, we're saying goodbye to Rose in the next story.
Are we?
We knew that when this was airing. We knew this was her last series.
Yeah, she's saying au revoir, bye-bye.
Yeah.
And she's saying, like, I don't want to come back to the show to kill me off.
Yeah.
Anywho, have a lovely week and
stay fantastic.